Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Some of you might have noticed that my frequency of posting went down a lot. I was really focused on making this video as good as it could be and as heartfelt as it could be, because it means a lot to me. So for those of you that follow my Instagram at jsstrength_0, if you're interested, you will have already seen this by the time that this video is posted. But for those of you that haven't, I'm going to read a letter to you all, and I'm going to show a video of one of my lifts. On January 15th, 2024, the world lost Christopher Ryan Collins to suicide. Ryan had been struggling for years in silence, feeling unable and unwilling to seek help. Although he and I had not spoken in quite some time, we were close friends off and on since preschool. As someone who also battled mental health difficulties from a young age, I want to illuminate what Ryan went through and what I myself have experienced. It's a story that needs hearing. As a young child, you are blissfully naive about the world around you. Your emotions are erratic. While your brain is in the early stages of development, your environment is a minefield of triggers. This instability begins to level out in elementary school. Once a person reaches their tween years, puberty can have a tempestuous effect on one's psyche. I was 8 years old when I first experienced depression. Ryan and I both experienced an abrupt and mutual emptiness. All at once, the world had become terrifying. I felt purposeless, smothered by the indomitable expectations of my parents, teachers, and peers. In reality, I was a child with a family history of mental issues and minimal education on the changes I would be going through. Ryan and I were brought together by our shared struggle over the next several years. We found mutual distractions in video games, YouTube videos, and an understanding company in our friendship. We had no idea what was happening to us, why each of us felt so empty when everyone around us seemed so happy. And we were constantly being told that, quote, these are going to be some of the best years of your life, end quote. Ryan and I hated hearing that. Entering our freshman year of high school, we had already been at war with ourselves for half a decade. Ryan had earned a reputation for being one of the most welcoming and friendly kids in school. He never shied away from helping anyone with a problem. Beloved by many of his classmates for his sweet and generous nature, what bubbled under the surface was only known to a select few. With his poor mental health tanking his grades, Ryan's belief in himself was crushed. He felt like he would never live up to the expectations of those around him. His front was one of nonchalance, while truthfully, he felt incapable of bearing the weight of life. Purposeless and depression are linked. When one is affected, the other changes in tandem. I was blessed to find my purpose at 15 years old when I was introduced to weight training. The tangible, undeniable improvement in one's physical abilities, in addition to a physical outlet that I greatly needed, was able to help me break down my proverbial walls. As silly as it might seem to some of you, lifting weights saved my life. I don't believe Ryan had the fortitude or time on earth to find his purpose. He was talented at almost everything he did, gladly taking on any role that allowed him to help others and excelling in the performing arts. His passion for brass instruments and genuine desire to make a positive impact on those around him would have made him a great band teacher. His emotional pain stifled those pursuits. A decade of quiet agony had forced him into reclusion at the time of his passing. For someone who is suffering like Ryan, the world seems too daunting to face. The most twisted thing about all mental health struggles is that, despite your pain, you actively hate the idea of seeking help. The idea of having to face your friends and family and tell them that you need therapy or medication is repulsive. I felt like I was weak and undeserving of their love, even if my conscious mind knew that I needed the help. This was a sentiment that we shared. In Ryan's final years of life, he remarked that he felt nobody loved him. All he needed to do was to open his phone or walk outside of his bedroom to know that was untrue. However, for someone who spent more of his life mentally ill than stable, that was impossible to see. We will never know what could have been because Ryan never thought he could reach out for help. At this point, you're probably wondering, why is there a video of Jacob squatting to go with this? In the brief time that Ryan and I were workout partners, I quickly discovered that he was much more talented than me. He had an abnormal love for heavy back squats. It was something he was well built for, as if his broad shoulders were always meant to carry a heavy load. Although he spent less than 6 months in the gym, he was able to work up to a respectable 1-rep max of 300 pounds before life derailed his progress. As part of his send-off, it was only right that I carry his burden. 300 pounds for 20 repetitions. 1 rep for every year we were able to have him in this world. A special thank you to Breaking the Silence New Mexico for the work they do helping to remove the stigma around education and discussion of mental health. As someone who was already struggling at an early age, I can vouch firsthand for the type of life-saving education and resources they provide. For those of you reading this who may be struggling with depression, anxiety, or any other mental illness, no matter how insignificant you may feel to the greater world, or how little you think it may accomplish, please reach out for help. You are not alone. You are loved.
Rest in peace, Ryan.
And